Tell us about the declassified missions and what that means.
Yeah, so declassification system is a completely new system specific to the primary campaign of Gears of War Judgment. It's an optional system. So what you saw was that crimson omen on the wall indicating it's available to you, and there's 40 plus of these available to you
throughout the campaign.
Throughout the primary campaign.
Okay.
And these declassifications do three things. One is they change the rule set. So what you're seeing right here is that reduced visibility and the enemies are meleeing you.
They are rushing right in on it.
Because this player's opted into it. The second thing that it does is it increases challenge, and so you see the star system on the top left where it's counting up your kind of performance. Well, if you opt into the declassification system, it gives you a star multiplier, so you earn more stars, which in turn means you get a whole bunch of additional content. You unlock additional content that way. And the last thing that it really does is it changes the way that the story is told. And the idea that Kilo Squad is being judged through a tribunal, well, the declassification system will change the story. If you don't opt into it, you'll just hear the normal testimony. But if you opt into it, you're going to hear a change in the testimony, a change in the VO about, hey, this is what really happened during that period.
And you mentioned something interesting there, is that Barrett's giving his testimony, and you're actually playing that out as the story progresses, right?
Exactly. As you play through and as you're giving your testimony, you get to play as the different characters giving their testimony. So you're going to hear the judge say, hey, we asked you to do this thing, and you went off, but it went horribly wrong. Recount to me exactly what you did and why.
Now, I want to get back to the declassified missions here. Tell us about some of the different variables. We're seeing, obviously, there's a fog here, kind of like we have in the studio, and some short-range weapons. But what are some of the other variables that players are going to encounter in the game?
Yeah, you'll see these environmental effects like fog or smoke. Some of them limit the weapons that you have available to you that you have to use to get through the mission. We have time-based ones, so having to get through it in a certain amount of time. We might throw a different set of enemies at you, like an additional set of a certain type of enemy. They really do change the game quite a bit. And what's great, like Alan said, they're optional. You can try it with it, and then with our system, we have a really easy way to go back and just replay a chapter. So maybe you can go try it without it. Maybe you thought you just want to see how it goes without it.
Now, you guys have played them all. I want to ask you each one. What's your favorites, Alan?
The timer-based ones are a lot of fun because there's already this sense of intensity and urgency, and it's just amplified.
Right.
When you know that the smart spawn system is trying to adjust to you, and now you have a timer restriction on top of that, it's really intense.
All right, there you go. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, actually the one we're watching is one of my favorites. You get this dusty room, and it's really hard to see. And so it changes the way you play the game, especially the way I play the game. I tend to be a little bit more further back, and I like to shoot the guys. And now all of a sudden I can't see, and they're right in my face.
They're rushing at you.
Yeah, I have to change the way I play the game, which is great.
Now, what happens if I don't want to opt into this? You just keep going. How does that impact?
Yeah, you'll still get the main story, and you're still going to play through. You're just not going to get that additional challenge, and you're not going to get that a little bit of additional storytelling to kind of help flesh out the full thing for you.
Sounds great. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on Xbox Live for this World